Hi there. In this video we are going to be taking a look at these two Luna projectors from HOFF, or they are also called floodlights. So let's get to it. Initially we'll be taking a look at this smaller one. This is just with one of these things added. This is 10 watts, 10 plus 10, 20 watts. They are IP54, so they can be used outside, but ideally somewhere where it's a bit protected, so they have something at least a bit on top of them. If you want better protection, you should go for IP65. Yeah, 54 is good, but not 100% okay for outside. Yes, 8 meters detection range. You can set it from 10 seconds to 10 minutes. The time it remains on after detecting movement. Let's see, do we have anything else in here? Nope, nothing else. So let's get inside this box. Okay, I'm not sure I can get it out with one hand, so be back in a second. And it's out, and the color temperature of the light is 4000 kelvins. It works at 220 volts basically, and looks something like this, which I honestly really liked, the fact that it just doesn't look like a standard floodlight. They all look the same, but this don't, so I liked it. We have here a rubber gasket, and in here I don't know, I think it's another of the same gasket, just as a backup, and these things which go on top of this, basically to seal it probably from the wall, as far as I can understand, because I don't think they can seal it from anything else, because normally here is where you put in the screws. So let's get this part that goes onto the wall out by undoing this screw right here. And yes, obviously here we have the movement sensor. Okay, that is out. As you can see, we have a silicone seal that actually seals right on this edge right here. Let me try and show it to you. This one all around, and on this one. Two wires, live and neutral. The screw locks into metal in here, which is good. Adjustments, I will get back to those in a second. And I realized what this is for. If you want, you can also break this tab right here, this indentation. Probably if you want to daisy chain these things, so you go from one to the other, and you can also go directly down if you need to, if you are not coming straight out of the wall. You can break this right here. So yeah, there's that. A thing that I don't really like, you can see how thin the rubber is in the middle. We can see through it, although it's a black rubber. If you have wires that are thinner than this, this will not seal. So honestly, I think I will use some silicone because this will not seal properly. I have 3 wires, but they are not together. They are independent wires. So something like this cannot seal 3 independent wires. It's a fact. So yeah, and the whole thing, all of it, absolutely all of it, is plastic. So let's get that out of the way. In here we can set how sensitive it will be, if it will react only at night or even during the day. So the light that can be outside when this thing is working, the time it stays on, and how sensitive it will be to movement to get activated, because yes, they have movement sensor. This is why the second reason I bought them. So yeah, that's about that for the moment. Let's take a look at the manual. No, this is not a manual, this is a quality and warranty certificate. Checked in the other one, same thing. So we don't have a manual for this, but honestly it's pretty safe explanatory, but I wish it would have included a manual. So for this one we only have adjustment on this direction, so you can only go up and down with it, but you cannot not rotate, so that is fixed on the position of your wall. On this one you cannot basically go down with both of them at the same time, but you have rotation on all directions. I cannot do it really with one hand. You can see it's rotating down at this point, but it will come also forward, but I cannot do it. Be back in a second. Okay, so something like this. They are adjustable in all directions. I'm really sorry, I cannot talk today at all. The back of it, it's identical. I think it will say 20 watts, 2 or 10 watts. So yeah, 20 watts obviously. And again, looking quite nice. And they are adjustable independently on a vertical direction and on a horizontal direction, which is quite cool if you put them to light up to a bit separate areas, and you put this in the middle, should work just fine. So that's about that for this product. I'm not going to go into them deeper because it's quite impossible for me to open them up and still be sure they are IP54, but hopefully they are. But then again, I will use them as protected as possible, honestly, just to make sure that I don't set my house on fire with these things. I don't like honestly the fact that they are made out of plastic. In time plastic deforms, can crack and whatnot, but hey, can't have them all, can you? And that's about that. Let's get them onto the wall and hope everything is okay. Hi there. What am I talking about? My brain is fried. No, hi there. Hi there from the perspective that this part of the video is being filmed about a year later. So hopefully I explained everything. What I intend to do, at least with this one, which has two 10-watt projectors on it, try to somehow connect it so I can control it with two switches. One of them allowing this movement sensor to work with all its adjustments, which is obviously this input, and I'm going to try and give it a different input also from another switch when I can basically are you going to open up? Yes, you are. Where I can basically force it to turn on. If I'm doing something in the area that this is illuminating, I might need it to stay on even if there is no movement. Not sure if this is possible, but we will see what we find in here. Hopefully I explained all of this while filming the initial part of the video 1 year ago. Time flies when you are having fun, or when you are having much too much work to do, but still having fun at the same time. So there's that. Okay-ish. Yikes, we have a bit of electronics in here. Not sure what I was actually expecting, because yeah, it kind of needs to have lots of electronics for this to properly work. I need to get everything out of here, don't I? Luckily this was never plugged into anything, so there shouldn't be any charges left, but it's quite hard for me to get the PCB out of here. As you can see, how many wires are going up in there? From here we have wires that are going up. Oh, and those are going to be... oh crap. I think I can bypass it. Yeah, we have a relay. Haha. that in there is a fuse and a relay. So, yep. You can see this is the phase. This is a neutral. So we have neutral and phase to power this particular... oh no, that's not neutral and phase. What the hell? Phase. I don't have all the wires in here. Something else is happening. I don't have all the wires. I think here we have another wire. Yep. Okay, now it makes sense. Now it makes sense. I think, I hope. Anyway, so we have neutral and live to power that module right there, the sensor, which connects via this, and you have all sorts of settings to it. Doesn't really matter. Then, when it decides, it gives power through this module, which is basically the little power supply for the LEDs themselves. So, if I bring a separate voltage source in here, I think I should be able to also give it power by myself. So if I somehow extend the red wire, no, I don't even think I need to extend it, just get it out of here, something like that, and have one of these with 3 wires, a neutral and two lives, and one of the lives will be connected to this, as long as nothing happens to this particular module when I inject a voltage from the other side. But as far as I know, this should be just on the other side of the relay. So if the relay itself is open, it shouldn't care. If the relay itself is closed, then basically it already has the same voltage right here. So again, it doesn't even care, I think. Am I making any sense in here? In theory, I should be making, but nobody knows for sure. It would be nice if I could somehow open this up to have a bit more access in here, but I don't think I can. So at this point I'm just working on assumptions. I might try to power this on and see what clicks, what happens, what connects to what when it actually goes live. Or I might just take a better look with more light in there and then just wing it. Because this board is clearly only driving the LEDs, 2 reds, 2 blacks, nothing more. This board right here is doing everything, and it's not doing it electronically, it's doing it through a relay. If it was just something electronical, injecting a voltage in here presumably would be really bad. But if it's a relay, I don't think it will care. I don't see the rest of the circuitry. So I could be injecting a voltage where it doesn't want to and blow it up. But I think I'm going to take that chance. If it's not good, live and learn. Next time I will be more careful. Probably not. Anyway, we'll see. Let me try and connect it and give it a bell. Modifications on the way. I literally added a 1 amp fuse before this LED driver PCB, because on this I managed to read the value and it's 3.15 amps, which is an extreme amount of amps, to say it like that, for such a small device of 20 watts consumption, and no big capacitive load to say that it can pop the fuse or something. So no like that. A smaller fuse that will be valid also for what this, so this fuse is protecting from a short in this. Kind of big fuse, but yeah, I think for a dead short it will pop. Then we can have voltage coming through this wire from this sensor, passing through the 1 amp fuse, which is protecting the whole of the rest of this, so any short anywhere, it will pop this fuse first. And then we also can give it a voltage through here directly, so it will always stay on, again through this fuse. So basically it's even safer than what it was when it was originally built. And I'm thinking that this particular module is a kind of universal one, and they just I don't know, sourced it from somewhere and decided to build this light with it inside. That's probably why it has such a big fuse, so it can drive other bigger things as opposed to our tiny LEDs. Anyway, there's that. Just drill the hole in the PCB and glue it where the original wire was, soldered it actually. And now I'm putting heat shrink tube on it. Yes, it's kind of how you're doing, because we are relying on the glass itself for structural stability for this particular wire in here. But I think it will be okay, because nothing will move inside of this once it's closed. So yeah, there's that. Looking great inside. That is covered up really well, no issues whatsoever. Trimmed a little bit of the ends of this PCB because it was bowing really badly, it was too long. So yeah, this doesn't have the greatest construction, but hopefully it will last, at least for what I paid for it. Anyway, let's close it up. And it's closed up. As you can see, it has some plastics in here, so something like this just goes in there, and if you push it enough it will become trapped and stuck, which is really nice. So we have the ground, actually no, not ground, yeah, the neutral wire. Jesus, we have an N here. I think I'm reusing this from something. Then we have the live wire, which is L right here, and then we have the sensor that was used before, which is this. In theory it should be a ground, but we don't care about that, so we have the sensor here. So I will give it from 2 switches power, and yeah, neutral is only one, obviously. In theory, let's go put it on the wall and it should work, I hope. Decided to do a quick test before putting it on the wall. So we have power, not too much light, so hopefully it will be enough for what I need. And we are on the direct contact, and on the other one this should come into play, so let's see. And it's working also from the sensor. Did some preliminary adjustments, hopefully they will be good, so it will not turn on when it's light, even if I move around. Increase the sensitivity a bit and the power on time a bit. We'll see. Good, not good, who knows. Okay, up on the house preparing the wires, and I need to check with the Big Tech to make sure I'm not electrocuting myself. I'm not a fan of that, and I don't have power, so I can play with the wires as much as I want to. The support is on the wall. As always, I overdid it with the screws. They are extremely strong. Now I just need to cut the wires to proper length and connect them to that thingy right there, which, as you can see, I've left it flapping around in the breeze in the end, just to have enough room. Also drilled holes for the wires right here, because I wanted this to the left as possible, so I'm not using the promet, but anyway, it would not isolate properly on 3 wires. The holes exactly the size of the wires are actually better in this situation. So let's do this. Because I forgot to put the seals, I needed to seal the holes, and these are the final settings the way I like them. And it's on the wall, and I don't want to be doing this ever again because it's really difficult. So hopefully this will work for a good long time from now, because again, I don't want to be doing this too soon. Let's see when it gets dark. And the fact that I need to open it up to do adjustments, it's just plain dumb. Let's test the movement sensor. Yep, seems to be doing the job. And it's outputting much more light than I was expecting it. So it's basically perfect. And I needed to tilt them all the way down so I don't bother the neighbors too much. Working great. Now let's do the second smaller one on the front of the house. Getting ready to install the second one. Wires are coming from this through the wall through that conduit, and they are ready to be connected right here. And I made exactly the same settings. and both of them are fully controllable from the inside, and this is fully sealed with all kinds of grommets and clickiness. Yeah, I added this for Christmas lights, no other reason. IP66, and they are right under this. And it's done. And the bug, a stinking one. So let's wait for nightfall and check all of this, but hopefully all works well and the settings are perfect, because I'm not sure that the electronics in this one work 100% like the ones in the other one. So in this one I might need to adjust the settings, but I hope they are okay from the first go. Anyway, we'll see at night. Hello bug. And it's night, and let's move around. So it's also raining. The detection is perfect, and this is making absolutely decent light in this area for us, no issues whatsoever. Now let's get a bit further to the second one. Getting close to the second one, and it detected us, and this one is outputting even more light, obviously, because it's double. So yeah, both of them doing exactly what they should be doing, no issues whatsoever. I can recommend them without any hesitation. And now let's turn back the Christmas lights and see you in the next video. Bye.